to the Playa del Sol Board of Directors meeting for the purpose of considering and adopting the budget for January 1, 2020, December 31, 2026. As a reminder, the meeting is going to be recorded as per Florida statutes, as well as this evening, we do not have a police officer here, so we do ask for acumen and respect for each other in the meetings. Moving forward, calling the meeting to order at 5 p.m. And Scott, can you certify quorum? Oh, Barbara, can you certify quorum here?
Yes, call roll call. So Heskey Barimi.
Speak here.
Bill Valerio.
Here.
Denise DeLuise.
Here.
Alex McCallis.
Yeah.
Mark Jara.
Present.
Robert Savali, present. Roseanne.
Once.
Okay, so we have 6 of the 7, and just wanted to members are the 6 that are present are in person, none on Zoom. I did want to acknowledge.
No, I'm here. I'm here. Roseanne's here.
Hi, Roseanne.
Hi.
Okay, First Services want to acknowledge Isabella being here, Scott, and Joe Schnell as Grayson, his presence.
Oh, how are you?
My Lord. Hi, Joe.
Hi.
Scott, can you please confirm that the proof of notice of the meeting was accounted for per Florida Statute 718?
Yeah, I certify that the notice of the budget meeting was posted and mailed to the owners at least 14 days prior to today's meeting date per Florida Statute 718 requirements.
Okay, before we move to the motion, I know there was a presentation, I think, Heskey, you were going to provide at this point.
Yeah, hello all, how are you? As you recall, last month, we convened to approve our 2026 budget with a 1.45% increase. As a matter of courtesy, we postponed that vote because a few people brought up the issue that they questioned what fees we were paying for services. And so we'd like Mike Sisto prepared a presentation, which I'm going to read in response to those questions. So the question was, what are we actually paying for services for providing their services here? So the first item is a flat management fee. This adds up to a little over $100,000. So that's their management fee. That covers all their oversight and accounting services and consulting services and so forth. The second large item that First Services charges us is this 22% payroll overhead. That's 22% on salaries and wages of $1.149 million. So we have employees, and this 22%, which adds up to $253,000, covers it covers Social Security tax, which is 6.2%. It covers Medicare taxes, which are 1.5%. It covers federal and state unemployment insurance, which is another 1%. Covers workmen's compensation insurance, which is 2.3%. 401k benefit administration, 1.5%, and payroll processing of 1%. So these add up to about 14%. So then a little under 13.5%. So the balance of 8.5%, so that's the fluff over there. But this 8.5% covers hiring and firing employees. It's no longer our responsibility. It's Joe's responsibility to send people over. We need security personnel. He found our building engineer, Rodney. He helped us find our security manager, Jorge. So this 8.5% covers the hiring and firing of employees, performance reviews, administrative tasks of dealing with their insurance and, their life insurance, health insurance, and, payroll processing and so forth. So it covers all those tasks. And obviously, First Services is in this business to make a little profit to pay for their overhead too. So, between the couple percentage points for profit and the rest for reimbursement for services that they do provide regarding human resources, this is where the 22% adds up to. So in this meeting today, we'd like to move forward and approve and ratify our budget for 2026. That's a budget in the amount of $7,081,775, which reflects a 1.45% average increase over last year's budget.
Okay, thank you. Is there anything from the First Services side? Is anybody prepared? Or there's any need?
I mean,
Perfect.
that was pretty thorough, but if you have any questions. Hello. There we go. All right. So that was pretty thorough, but if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. I mean, that was from the information that we provided to the Finance Committee.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
So, moving along in considering, for consideration, adopting the 2026 operating budget. Do I have a motion to approve the 2026 budget in the amount of $7,081,775.00?
I make the motion.
I will second.
Open it up. Any other comments from the rest of the board?
Nope.
I think it's been
Cut and dry.
pretty thorough, cut and dry, illustrated as well. And certainly, I think based on every month's meetings, we are seeing a lot of the progress and the support that not only occurs on site, but behind the scenes as well. So we certainly see the value of that. Opening it up. For any comments,
One time.
please?
One at a time. Somebody start.
Hi, Xavier Greenbaum, apartment 511. Scott, this is direct to you.
Yeah.
So now because our elevator is not working yet, it's not ready yet, we've been walking on the catwalk. And what would really starting to bother me is the flooding on the part of Cachet. Right? And it doesn't, somehow, who's answering this? This is for
Yeah,
finance.
it's for the budget meeting right now. Can we hold that?
Okay, but I'm saying that that was over 100. Okay, so let me relate. I'm sorry, over $100,000 when we repaired it and we did everything to it. So is that going to cost us money? Is that going to be in the budget for That's what I wanted to know. Is it follow up? Right.
I have a question for you
Yes.
on your question. Are you asking if we're planning to redo that?
Right. I'm saying, is that in the budget? What kind of I don't even know what kind of repair that because now that it's raining, it's especially bad. So does that have to be all torn up again, or do we know?
We have a 20-year warranty on the system.
But it's been like that
Well, the
for
manufacturer states is standing behind their warranty, and then they said if there's any leaks, they'll be fully responsible. And it's an MDL warranty, no dollar limit. So even if the warranty fails in 15 years, they have to repair and cost at the time of failure.
because we have electricity in there.
Yeah, also these roofing systems are designed to allow for water ponding.
They are.
So it's not like it's gonna start leaking. They're designed to resist any kind of from ponding.
Thank you. Any questions on the budget,
On the budget.
please?
Hi, everybody. Hi, everyone. Todd Brown from 402. I very carefully, and I just want to say I fully support it. And more importantly, with respect to the 22%, I want to thank Heskey and the finance team and First Services, sorry. First Services.
Sorry, Todd, everybody was.
First Residential for helping us understand that 22%.
I just want to add two comments with respect to the budget as it relates to first services. By my calculation, they're only costing us about 5% of the total budget, which is nothing.
That's correct, right?
And we were paying that. We were paying it anyway to our staff. Based on the year and a half they've been here and the amazing job they've done, they have allowed you folks as a board to run like a board. You are in charge of the executive decision making. You're no longer involved in the day-to-day operation of the building. We are getting, I think, exceptional value. And I'm glad to see Joe here, because it's not just the team that we see in the office. It is an enormous organization with huge resources. We never had that before, and it shows. And I want to thank you all for having such a good year as a board, because I'm guessing First Residential has really helped you out a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks, Todd.
Anybody else? Yeah, please.
Yes, I'm Tuna Alper, 1812. I'd like to know the justifications behind the reserves. What's driving the such a large, I guess, so $2 million for reserves?
Yes. And you want to speak to that, S here?
All right, well, the major part of the reserves are what they call the Sears reserves. That's a mandatory requirement determined by the periodic reserve study. In addition to that, you got to bear in mind that we have several projects looming. We have the paper deck projects, we have the ELSS projects, which cost $1.5 million. We're replacing the HVAC risers. So we have these projects in the pipeline for the next couple of years. So we need the money. We're not just putting the money in the bank just for the hell of it. That money is actually going to be spent in the next, 3 to 5 years. And then the second part of the reserves is a discretionary reserves called non-Sears. So these aren't, even though the state doesn't consider it essential, but the non-Sears covers like the hallway, painting and carpeting. It covers a cooling tower up on the roof, which that project is going to start in 6 months. So we need to actually fund these projects. This money is not just being put in the bank because we want to, give everybody, some hardship. So this money is basically accounted for, and I do projections of, whether we have enough money. Actually, in the non-Sears portion, because this cooling tower project came upon us like 3 or 4 years before we anticipated, mainly because we want to do that before doing the roofing. We don't want to do our roofing and then have demolition work up on the roof, tearing down that old cooling tower and reinstalling it and entirely damaging our roof. So that sort of creeped up on us a few years ahead of what we had anticipated. So in our non-Sears, we're actually going to be running basically on fumes just to pay for this cooling tower project, which really came upon us earlier than we anticipated. So this money is really called for. And in addition, the Sears portion is mandatory. It's not optional anymore.
Maybe you can talk about how you estimate those prices. I think that's.
Who is that?
Reserve special.
Yeah, can you?
You have to come up.
Well, right now for the ELSS, we have hard bids. For roofing, we got hard bids. But yeah, the cooling tower, we're about to get bids for those. So right now, what the reserve study, they just plug in this number from like years ago. They hardly changed the replacement costs. So yeah, we have to be a little realistic. What they anticipated for replacing the cooling tower 5 years ago is not realistic. So let's say the budget of like 1.3 million, I probably, estimate it's gonna cost us closer to 2 million than 1.3. But now ultimately, it really comes down to the bidding process. And that's where, our project managers, really pay for themselves because, just shepherding this bidding process and making it a competitive bidding process. Like, for example, our roofing. Now, I had a number of 2 million for roofing. But, we had bids from as low as 1.2 million, 1.5 million, and 2.4 million. So, we're obviously going to go with the middle guy that's, we feel comfortable with. But just by virtue of having a competitive bidding process, we save money, and that's money well spent that we pay our project managers.
And it's David, right? Okay, just for the folks on Zoom, the question from David at 2503 was, how do we come up with the numbers from the reserve? That's based on the reserve study and the useful life of each item. And we utilize the reserve study consultant to give us that number, which, for example, like the roof was estimated at its useful life of when we're ready to replace it was a $2 million number. Well, surprisingly and nicely, we are seeing ranges that are well below that. But in order to satisfy Florida statutes and be prepared on our end from an association, we utilize the reserve study numbers to calculate for each year percentage that we need to allocate for each one of those assets on the savings on that. So that's where we come up with those numbers. Okay.
So by keeping the reserves,
Please stand up. Yeah, so people online could hear. But
by keeping the reserves, we are sort of making up for the special assessments that will come up.
Yeah. I'd rather keep it steady with annual reserve contributions than like a stop and go approach where, we sort of put our head in the sand and pretend, all's fine and dandy, and defer reserve contributions, and then come, 3 years from now, hey buddies, guess what? We're gonna have a $7 million special assessment, So rather than doing that, I'm just like trying to do extended cash flow projections and try to keep it steady so people can plan their lives too. But they don't have to, 1 year, come up with huge amounts of sums and, put.
Oh, wait, Kathy, wait.
Kathy, can we? And just as a reminder, if you go up, you'll be limiting it to once per person, so we can accommodate everybody from a questions perspective. Thank you. Brooke?
I'll go after the Zoomers if possible, but if it's not possible,
Well, you were next.
Yeah, you were next. I don't think, is there anybody on Zoom with a hand up? Doesn't look like it.
I'm not seeing anybody.
No, it's all right. Yeah. Go ahead, Brooke. Brooke, you were up.
No, they answered the question.
Okay.
That it was, that the state requires us to fund.
Yes.
Good evening, Brooke Barrett, 2814. Okay. Good evening. I'm speaking on the budget and specifically last year's overage and professional fees. Time won't allow me to fully unpack the folly of paying $200 to $500 per hour for construction management, but it is important to say this. Those rates helped drive last year's overage, and I believe the budget still understates the true cost going forward. I'd asked for a breakdown of the projected professional fees, and they said they'd do it at the next meeting. Consulting rates at this level may be common at ultra luxury properties like Auberge or the Four Seasons, but our community is different. We are carpenters, law enforcement officers, retired teachers, and successful business people who expect cost-effective, transparent solution, not champagne price consulting. I want to spend the rest of my time on legal fees. We have heard it suggested that the rising legal fees are the fault of difficult homeowners. My hypothesis is different. We have a culture problem. Playa del Sol has developed a litigation-first culture, and that culture has been reinforced by our current legal team's philosophy. As Peter Drucker often was quoted, culture is strategy for breakfast. Some people dispute if Peter Drucker or not, but it doesn't matter. Right now, our litigation culture is eating our best intentions and our budget. In management terms, we need double loop learning, not just reacting to each dispute, but asking why our default set point is litigation instead of mediation or problem solving. Florida law emphatically encourages alternative dispute resolution. I have personally offered to go to mediation on issues of meeting participation and owners' rights, letting the association choose the mediator and offering to pay half. PDS in writing refused to even consider it. Instead, the message I received from our counsel is lawyer up. In one communication, our association attorney wrote to me, a non-lawyer, if you hire an attorney and your attorney wants to present all these concerns and issues on your behalf, I will respond to him or her. Otherwise, you are really wasting your time. On another occasion about arbitration, she wrote, remember that arbitration is non-binding. So if we do not agree with the arbitrator's findings, we can file for a trial de novo, at which point I do recommend you hire legal counsel. When the only people who are taken seriously are those who hire attorneys against their association, and self-representative owners are told they are wasting their time, it is no surprise that legal bills climb. We don't fix this by blaming homeowners on the budget notes. We fix it by changing the culture, honoring the spirit of alternative dispute resolution, listening to owners in good faith, and reserving high-priced litigation for the rarest, truly necessary cases.
Thank you.
257.
Thank you very much.
Good job, Brooke.
Anybody else on Zoom or on site here? Anybody else?
Oh, here we go.
At the last.
You have to stand facing the board, please.
Barbara, thank you. I'd like to face.
Flash, state your name and your apartment number.
Glenn Schrayer, Unit 107, Miss Savelli.
Thanks, Savali, and please face the board, so, because the people online can't see you.
Okay, so at the last budget meeting, there were issues. So we tabled it, and now we got presented the exact same budget. There weren't any changes to it. So I have some issues with the budget. Sharp Project Management, they received $70,000 in the past 6 months. We haven't even started construction. Sorry, I'm not used to such a hostile crowd. But I agree with Brooke that we have a litigation culture. Everything goes to Becker Polikoff. Becker Polikoff just wants the bill. And it's just not good for the building. We should work things out collaboratively. We should work them out amongst each other. Everything shouldn't be sent off to legal. We have current issues that could result in litigation, and I don't want them to result in litigation. And it's up to the board to make sure that doesn't happen. We have to keep our spending down. And we have to try to resolve issues. For instance, the email about Mick committing gross negligence.
No.
This affects the budget.
No, it doesn't.
Because if it results in litigation.
With the potential in the future. We're talking about the budget as
It's not a
is.
budget.
You cannot talk about
Yeah.
what.
Well, I just wish the board would do stuff that didn't result in us getting involved in legal disputes. We've had 3 legal disputes over the last 3 years. They were preventable. We spent $30,000 on lounge chairs. We have weak reserves. If you read the reserve study, it says it's moderate. We paid NB5 $80,000 in 10 months, and then we hired a full-time engineer. Why would we need both? I don't think the 22% surcharge to first residential is normal. I understand
Some of it goes to payroll, but that's still really high. It can be renegotiated. Through October, we spent 124,000 in legal fees. That's crazy. We're going to spend 150K in legal fees.
Thank you.
Well, it's 243.
We've got 10 more seconds.
That's not my clock.
Well,
That was my clock.
Thank you.
thanks.
Any other questions?
I got the clock here. Okay, guys.
Second question. You can't answer. This is the second question.
Actually,
wasn't it?
I
All right.
had a question.
Just a second.
No, well, hold it, hold it.
No, no.
Everyone gets one question.
Exactly. And the beauty is that wasn't up yet. I didn't ask, just Chesky didn't give a full out answer, so, like the full answer. So just wanted to know the full answer. First of all, what I want to say, so David from 2305. And just wanted to say thank you to Mike and Chesky for all the detail. I know it takes a lot of time out of your day and you guys don't work for this building, obviously. So phenomenal. Thank you very much. And Glenn, what I want to say is I truly support everything that you said. However, I think that we had the whole year to look at all this stuff. So it's awesome that you come now, but I think that we need to come a little sooner to alert everybody of all this stuff. And then we'll all be able to help you with all the issues that you're bringing up, which possibly are valid.
Please.
Just
Thank you.
bringing it up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Okay, this to a vote with regards to the board. The vote is to approve the 2026 budget in the amount of $7,081,775.00. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Roseanne?
Roseanne?
Aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting at 5:27?
A motion?
Okay, those in favor?
Aye.
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 Right, thank you, everybody.
Next meeting.
Thank you.
Meeting is at 6 p.m. Refreshments